Is this why Tom Holland's Spider-Man is seemingly being left out of Avengers Doomsday? Now that Brand New Day has came and went and we still don't have any sort of official confirmation regarding Tom Holland appearing in Avengers Doomsday, I think it's safe to say that, at least in my mind, MCU Peter Parker is probably just not going to appear in this movie. But it is and has for the past couple months been heavily rumored that another version of Spider-Man will appear in this film, that being Tobey Maguire's iteration of the character. And if you ask me, I think that might be the exact reason why we are not seeing Tom Holland's version of Peter being involved in this movie. It is no secret at this point that the live-action film rights surrounding Spider-Man are a little bit of a mess, with Sony owning the rights to make live-action Spider-Man movies, while at the same time collaborating with Marvel Studios, who's owned by Disney, to make those movies. That way Tom Holland's Spider-Man can still appear in and be a part of the MCU. But that partnership between Sony and Marvel Studios / Disney is something that's only been around and been involved with these films for the Tom Holland iteration of the character. The Sam Raimi trilogy and TASM series of Spider-Man films starring Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were fully made by and are owned by Sony. So that creates a weird situation when we look forward to Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, where a lot of Marvel fans have been expecting those two earlier versions of Spider-Man to reappear again. Because while No Way Home, where the two of those guys first returned for the first time since their original Spider-Man series respectively, was a Marvel Studios project, it was still one of those Tom Holland Spider-Man movies made in collaboration with Sony. Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars are very much not that. These are entirely Marvel Studios productions. So they would have to get clearance and presumably make some sort of deal with Sony to be able to use those two earlier fan favorite versions of the character in these movies. Which is why the fact that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man seemingly is going to appear in Avengers Doomsday while Tom Holland's Spider-Man isn't is really interesting to me. When you look at Brand New Day, the Spider-Man movie that we just got, this movie had more MCU characters appearing in it than any of the prior Tom Holland Spider-Man movies that we had seen. When you look back at the Home trilogy, each of those movies had like one major representative from the MCU showing up. With Homecoming, it was Iron Man. With Far From Home, it was Nick Fury. And then with No Way Home, it was obviously Doctor Strange. But with Brand New Day, you had Punisher, Bruce Banner / the Hulk, Yelena. They seem to have had a lot more freedom when it came to choosing MCU characters than they had in the past, and that might be because of this deal that they had to make to get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. I could totally see a world where in exchange for all those MCU characters, Sony agreed to let them use Tobey Maguire in Doomsday, and then maybe for some odd reason, like scheduling purposes or something like that, they said that if they got Tobey in that film, Tom wouldn't be allowed to appear in it. Obviously, this is just me looking at it from the outside in, but I think this could be what we're seeing here. Drop a like and comment, let me know why you guys think we're seemingly not going to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man appear in Avengers Doomsday, and follow for more Marvel and Spider-Man content.